Today we have a guest. She is Mrs. Kalyani Shankar from Washington, D.C., Chief Representative and a reporter for Hindustan Times, the greatest English daily of India. She will be visiting us in a few minutes and will talk to you. Then we have another guest, Mr. Pandit, who is an industrialist, and he has done so many good things. He has come as a friend to help. So tonight we are going to talk to ourselves about something. It's called rational living. A question which you have never asked yourself. Whenever there is a matter of dispute, or it is a matter of dislike or misunderstanding, you have reason to rationalize in the end if you want to reconcile why it is happening. You do have the power of reconciling things. There is a mind which you have which will not accept rationalization of something ahead of time. Because if you do not have a developed intuition, you will not deal with things ahead of time. If you will not deal with things ahead of time, you shall not be ahead of time. Is that understood? Either you call it intuition. Suppose you have not developed intuition, you do have a rational mind, and rational mind is given to you to debate, and is there to debate your existence, whether it is negative or it is positive. But you do have a rational mind. You have a logical mind. You do have lot of longing, lot of emotion, lot of fantasies. In a common sense, you have very good common sense as a woman, because that has been given to you by God, because the faculty of mother is in you. But you are extremely insecure, therefore your rational mind sometimes does not work. But suppose you want to live and argue with things, what is the use of arguing things later when thing is already done? What's the idea of reasoning with things when they are happening? Why not you understand and take granted that there is some system in life that you can rationalize things with time, space, circumstances, with your emotions ahead of time. It has been observed and seen that after 27 years, from 17 years to 27 years, woman is hot, they call it, warm, hot. She seeks mateship. From number 1 year to 7 years, you grow. From 7 to 17, you mature. From 17 to 27, you are warm-hearted, or you are heartily hot. Either of the two will happen. At 27, you start rationalization. From 27 to 54, you have a classic period. Is it called woman period? It's not a matter of being rational or irrational. By that time, if the maturity is not developed and the bases are not understood, you shall have a very clogged period. That's why you will see, if you study the entire life, a woman in all forms has great emptiness from the age of 27 to 54. Why? It's not the fault of the society. It's not the fault of the parents. Is it not your fault either? Fault lies in a very diagonal sense where you cannot elaborate your own principles of life. Mother, who gave you birth, has a nature. Mother who gave you birth, you adapted that part of nature. You adapted it genetically, you adapted it socially, you adapted it psychologically, you adapted it into relevance, and the worst thing you adapted is the values. I'm not discussing here good values and bad values. What I'm adapting here is that you adapted mother's values. Similarly, you adapted your father's values. So you are byproduct genetically, socially, and per circumstances of two things: father and a mother. Father, and then you are affected by society and by culture. So you are a victim of geography, you are a victim of geography, you are a absolutely byproduct of the social order, and technically speaking, you are there in all what there is. Your importance is not undermined by any circumstances, but you are not aware how important you are. Mostly it has been taken away from you that you are very important. Manu, the lawgiver of India, says, "O woman, but for you, there would not have been anything to relate to. The world would have been empty." He also says, "Without you, there would not have been any warmth." But I'm not discussing all that in the modern life, why this modern life is going to be totally painful for women especially. Because one thing this modern life is letting you lose is your sensitivity or softness which you bring to this world. Some of you, by the circumstances, have become like tomboys. Father phobia and the father phenomena has interrelated, and the circumstances are not very clear. You are not clearly raised as a woman. And also, you have not raised yourself as a woman. So we are not going to blame the whole world for it, because whatever the parents are, that is what it is. And whatever the social order and geographical order is, that is what it is. What is the regional social order and the circumstantial tradition is, that it is. What is the religious order and the religious taboo are, that it is. Let's put it that way. But at 27, you are a woman. At 27, you are a woman. As at 17, you are a woman in start. At 27, you are a woman blossomed to his full self. Now, what do? At 27, if you disassociate yourself with the entire system of existence and realize by your nature that you are a woman, then from 27 to 54, you do exist as a woman. Otherwise, you can't. It doesn't matter you are Japanese, you are German, you are English, you are American. It has nothing to do with it. All values are precious. They will mint you, they will coin you, they will made you. By 27, you may have children, you may have a husband, you might have been divorced. You might have not been educated, you might be starting a new education. You can go to certain things. You must understand Prakriti. The existence is woman. You have never been told. Purusha is not existence. Man is not existence. Man is a half-brain animal, a mammal. It doesn't have psychoanalytically the left brain. It all has is initiation, initiation, initiation. That's all it is. And you must contain it. That initiation you must contain. Otherwise, please do not ever marry or remain single. Simple law of the thumb. As she contains he in it, at female contains male in it, at a woman contains man in it, learn to contain. And once you learn to contain and reflect, there shall not be a divorce. Or, what we are doing, there shall be a divorce. And the innocent children shall suffer as a male and a female. So generation after generation we are deteriorating in a very simple phenomena that we have not understood, as Manu said, "O woman, without you there is no word." No. Without you there is a word, because you have your own word. This whole word is not your word. This is the misunderstanding you are born with. This is the misunderstanding you are raised with. And this is the understanding you are now here. And might you listen to this and may not listen to this. That without you, there is no word. Are you that important? No. Circumstances have made you second-grade citizen. Men beat upon you. Men divorce you. Now, if I ask the general public here, you're the cream of the world, you're going to tell your suffering stories. Right? Correct? Each one of us has a story. Is that true? Now ask yourself for 1 minute, close your eyes, close your eyes, close your eyes, and ask yourself, there's nothing wrong, just close your eyes and ask yourself, did you from day one when you understood yourself to this day, understood it clearly, you are the word, W-O-R-A-L-D. Did you or did you not? Ask second question. Did your word, W-O-R-D, affected everything or it didn't? Now, imagine you are the word to live in or you are the real word. Are you real as a woman and you are real as a word within your own self? Or you are still finding your word? It doesn't matter you are successful or you are not successful. It doesn't matter you are healthy or unhealthy. This is the basic fundamental question which you have to realize in your life. That within you this word exists. Beyond you there is no word. And also try to personify yourself with a simple meditative mind. If I am not the word, then what I am? If you are not the word now, then there is nothing shall come of you, the offshoots of you will suffer. If you were not the word, your surrounding will suffer. Yourself and your smiles can change the entire universe, otherwise there is nothing to it. Are you willing to take that responsibility? You have been told many things. I'm not even going to count them. Society wanted you as servant. Society wanted you as second grade. Society captured you as slaves. You are talking of the civilization word. Let me tell you about the civilization word. In 1786, you were still sold in the markets in this Western world as slaves. Let's not talk about all that. Doesn't matter what the color was. Doesn't matter what the color was. 150-year-old away, you were sold like animals. What about the civil war of the America? Over slavery. You think if a skin is black, it is not a woman? If skin is a white only, that is a woman? If skin is brown, that is not a woman? You have been preyed upon by society, by time, by circumstances, by culture, even by dharma. And it has been going down from time immemorial to time immemorial. But the fact is, without you, there is no word. And what is happening? Because of that suppression, today you are becoming very aggressive. Now you want to go to the wars, you want to fly the aeroplanes, you want to do everything. Men don't menstruate, you do. If this word, W-O-R-L-D, is taken away, this softness, this sophisticatedness, and that beauty, that subtlety which a woman gives, and we are going to create a woman like a tomboy who can take a jackhammer I went to Washington, D.C. I have never overcome that one day. A young teenage girl who wanted money for perhaps college or to help her family, I don't understand what the circumstance was, I didn't stop to ask, was having a jackhammer. 8 hours pulling the road in Washington, D.C., 8 hours with a jackhammer so the road can be rebuilt. After a couple years, if that woman get married, what child she is going to produce? Sometimes you are pregnant, you get upset. You get emotional. You want to deal with circumstances in a very loud, self-defense manners. And you have a child who gets the blunt of it. Your power is not in logic, in argument, in reason, in yelling, in screaming, but your power is in clarity of time and space. And God has given you 16 times more power because He gives you as the institutional power 16 times over the man, because basically He gave you that right to be mother. That's why you have both hemispheres. And in the logic sense, your neurological essence of brain activity is faster, is self-correcting. Your intuition is better than anything else in this world. Watch sometime Discovery Channel. If you do not want to learn this way, watch Discovery Channel. There's a line of wolves. There is a line of wolves. And there's a one she. There's a one she. And she is going to bear the child. Whatever that is, a calf it is, or the puppy it is, or baby it is, don't worry about that. She. There's one she, and she has a life to give, and these wolves are around for breakfast. Now imagine this disparity of life. Imagine this disparity of life. And that little she not only gives birth to the child, becomes so strong and fights with 8 wolves. Where comes that power? Where comes that Shakti? As Prakriti, you are infinite. You lose it very fast. Oh my God, this, my man is this and my man is that and my neighbor is this and my neighbor is that, my circumstances, this circumstance. Have you ever applied yourself as a full woman in a very soft smile? You want to win, is that true? You want to win as a wrestler? Or you want to win as a sophisticated individual with a lot of integrity, dignity and divinity? Make a choice. What is our American society? Bring a bandwagon of whores into a minor village and have fun and create this. That's what it is. Still as American we eat early. Still as American we eat salad first. Anybody knows why we eat salad first? Whole Europe eats salad last. We American eat salad first. Why? Why? No, we don't want to be constipated tomorrow. And salad is very important to keep ourselves clearing. So it is from our early days we have learned to eat salad first. Whole world eat salad last. It's a universal principle. To eat salad last. We American eat salad first. Because we don't want to be constipated. Why we eat early? From the wagon days we have learned, eat when the sun is on. God knows after darkness what will happen. Have we changed geographically? With all being the superpower? No. It has become our culture. Once upon a time, there was a southern civilization. Girl was 16, she was told everybody is 16, and then there was at least some effort to find her husband. Suiting, befitting, economically, socially, educationally. Now there's a freedom. Find it yourself. So what? After 30 relationships, 3 marriages, you're going to learn to be a woman? That's why, sooner or later, the word is going to come to you. Because you walk with that grace and with that face, the people ask, who are you? What we are trying to give here, we are trying to give you the basic standard knowledge. Beyond ego. When a woman wants to fight with ego as a woman, she loses her womanship and becomes a wrestler. You are not made to fight. You are made to learn to fight. And you have to learn to fight with your smiles, with your sophisticatedness. Take an altitude. Take a altitude and have an attitude. Now, think now, let's meditate on this. Think right now that you have a terrible problem. And whatever your problem is, you have a... Now take a height. Go up. Go up and up. Go up and up. Take an attitude of that higher altitude and come down at the problem. You'll be shocked to feel it's already solved. Even today, a woman with 3 children, I test it out many times. If you yell at her, and because her father used to yell at her, automatically without any reason, tears comes out. Even today. Even today, what I should do? If you look at that woman, professionally successful, had all the degrees on the wall, what should I do? Because the byproduct, the insecurity of the mother has crippled. Insecurity of the mother and the rudeness and bruteness of the father will cripple the child. But does that mean that we are only the byproducts of those circumstances we can't change? Whatever the time is, just understand, you have to develop your caliber as a woman. That's the answer to your questions. And you are a woman first, woman in the middle, woman last. And your intelligence and your caliber, your consciousness and your knowledge must protect you as a woman. Why you are so serious? Don't you understand? There are two things in life which everybody forgets. Two things in life which everybody forget. Everybody forget they are a woman or they are a man. Are you aware of it? Are you aware of it? Every man forgets he's a man. Every woman forgets she is a woman. All times. All? Anybody can raise their hand and say that you just remember all the time you are a woman? No, you can't raise your time, it will be a lie. Two things I have seen in human, they forget. There is a man, he forgets he's a man. Nobody introduces himself. This is man so and so. He's a doctor, he's this, he's a yogi, he's a swami, he's acupuncturist, he's, I don't know, Mrs. so and so, Mr. so and so. And second thing, we always forget we are human. Don't remember you are a human, you don't remember your gender, what are you then? Rest is all phony. Rest doesn't mean anything. Your creative ability shall not come to you and not rescue you from your tragedies if you basically do not remember you are a woman. Moment you remember you are a woman, you will be 16 times powerful than the entire self. And you moment remember you are a human, the entire universe, entire prakriti you become. And we will do this little meditation. I have told you that Mrs. Kalyani Shankar is here, and she has already come, and she will stand up, you can look at her. She's going to talk to you after this, and I have also introduced you who she is. And Mr. Pandit is there right in the beginning. You see with the man with the glasses smiling? And I don't know what he's going to talk to you, but he's going to talk to you too. So let us finish this our part, and then we'll get to our guests. Take your mercury finger and your sun finger and lock it with your id, like this. Correct? Correct? And this is your hemisphere. This is your hemisphere. Now, this is a misunderstanding, but if this damn thing is not here, that's better. Because I don't want you to do wrong, because I was doing like this. Now, this is the heart center. As a woman, you are the only one who has the arc line in the central heart center. Man has only arc line here to here. You have here to here and here. Here is all recorded of your life. Men don't have that. So, this is your hemisphere. sound is high at the navel point. Try it. Okay, you're very nice. Posture, no? Be in posture. Ready? Play yesterday's tape, full and loud. And at this beat of the drum, calculate your rhythm and the cross rhythm. The sound must be in mental. Accurate? Eyes at the tip of the nose. With each beat we must touch. Correct your touch. Concentrate. one who played had the hands, has the head, and had the sound. You are playing the most two important parts of your being, your Jupiter and your Saturn. And let me know how many times you missed. If this would have been a class of men and they would have missed it, I can accept it. Not with you. So the faculty as a woman has to be exercised in a meditative mind to be understood. The body and the action. Body and the action is perfect in harmony. That is your qualifying factor. Do not deal repulsively by any aggression. Doesn't matter what it may be. Let's see now you do it correctly. Keep the tape start from there. Whether you do it correctly or not, we'll watch again. Right where we stop. Play with it. Done the movement. Now try to do one thing. You want to see what is the power you as a woman is after this? Raise your right hand with these two fingers straight up and put your left hand across your heart center. Just steady. Now, do not have a bent in elbow. Correct your posture and close your eyes. And now, without moving the hands, start moving the hands mentally. Take a solid state. Solid state. No movement, no muscle. Now move mentally. You are bending your arms. Relax. See the difference? If you can make your body physically standardized and have the mental power to cover the standard of it, you can move anything. You remember when we were children, we used to put glass on the, turn upside down on the table, and with hands we used to move them? Has anybody done that? Huh? We used to do that all the time. What moves that? Mind over body. It's a simple development. It's not something that you should not forget. If a female doesn't know how the mind can conquer, be and work on a body, she shall never be in a position to work on children. Unborn. You must know how to move the object. And you must know how to convey the subject. That we'll talk tomorrow. How to move the object and how to convey the subject to a mammal called male. And what are the faculties and facilities God has given a female? So that you can understand Purusha in a neutral form. Men are not what you think they are. Men are not what their mother thought they are. Men are not what the environments think they are. Man is a neutral identity. Whatever you reflect, that it shall be. You don't believe it. If you don't believe this statement, go to a psychologist, psychiatrist, and hustle the rest of your life. Or try to learn how to move this neutral identity. Purusha. Moment you know how to neutralize and understand the Purusha principle, the entire Prakriti will come for you. Everything. And now we'll ask our guest to come and she will address you in our own style. Thanks for these gifts. You would like to sit down? बैठी हुई है, पहले बैठी हुई है. और can you put it?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Meditation was hard. Tulochan, you like to introduce her? You are itching for it.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. As a guest of Yogi Ji, before you on the dais, is a very important person from India, and luckily person is a woman. You see, today the power of media, newspaper, TV is much more in our life. In India, The most important newspaper is Hindustan Times, like your New York Times or Washington Post. They're the most important newspaper from capital of India. The woman sitting before you who's going to address you, Kalyani Shankar, is head of the team of the journalists in USA for that newspaper. She is very wise, efficient in her profession in India for last many, many years. A good political commentator, she writes and all Indians read. Now she is in Washington communicating between America and India. So Yogi ji has invited her. Gurjot Singh, especially husband of Gurjot Kaur, has escorted her from Washington. She spent a day, whole day in the ashram with Yogi ji. Now she is here. She been to a camp in the morning. Now she will say few words and few lines for you. Speak as much any time, no limit.
Thank you very much. Respected Yogi ji, Tarlochan Singh ji, and friends. Yogi ji has really taken me by surprise by asking me to speak. I am not yet ready to address a gathering of this size, and though we write, I am not a good public speaker, but still, bowing to the wishes, I would like to say a few things. Maybe I'll take 2 minutes of your time. And I would say that last week, if somebody had told me that I was going to address a gathering, such a distinguished gathering like you, from women drawn from different countries of the world, I wouldn't have believed it. And suddenly last week I got a call from Tarlochan Singh ji saying that Yogi ji has invited me here. Then it so happened that I said, let me go and see, and here I am. And it's truly amazing, truly amazing. I have never seen such a thing in my life before. I have traveled to a number of countries, and I've traveled within India, and also visited a number of places. But this place is really, really amazing. And you know, I'm not saying for the sake of amazing is a truly American word. I'm not using that in that sense. I'm saying it in the British sense that it is amazing to see different people, different countries wearing white colored, it's more or less kind of uniform, and you know, listening to all of you. This morning I was very impressed by the children. They were presenting the presentation about the camp, and now I'm seeing your women's camp. So I really don't know how to appreciate, how to say that this is something really, really unique, I would say. So the only thing I can do is by writing it in my paper and also telling our people that a man from our country is doing such a wonderful thing in such a far-off place. And I really do not know why you people have embraced this faith, but I was told from my childhood that Sikhism was born out of good things which were in Hindu religion and the Christianity. So that is how Islam and Christianity. So that's how the Sikhs, the best of both religions, Sikhism was born. So, and in India, we always used to treat the Sikhs as, I am a Hindu, but then we always used to treat the Sikhs as our brothers, and there was no difference at all. So when I see you all now, I also feel that you are my sisters, and I see different age group here, right from a child, and here is a young person who is going to be one of the future mothers and future citizen, and people from all ages. So I am really amazed. And after listening to Yogi ji, I am myself beginning to understand what a woman is. You know, if you remember, I remember at least that picture, My Fair Lady, where that Professor Higgins, he keeps on asking, why can't a woman behave like a man? So that now I understand that why a woman cannot behave like a man. So I Because that was one sentence where I went on realizing, and I am working in a man's world in my country. Even today, the journalism is one of the man's profession. So I do know what it is to work. And many successful women have always told me that to work in a man's world, one has to work 10 times more than what a man would have done. So I think that what Yogiji has told just a few minutes ago, I think if you could absorb and go ahead, and I think we will all be a good teachers for the rest of the humanity. And I really appreciate Yogiji asking me to speak to you for a few minutes. I deem it a great privilege to address so many people who had come from different countries of the world. And I really thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Understand this psychology. When a person cannot say a lot, person feels a lot. And this is called state of wa. You know what it is? A woman of her caliber, or going around the world, talking to the whole universe, writing about everything, interview every person she can handle. And then she comes here, and in the uniqueness in which she is, she said in one very thing, wow. And that's a great expression. Now, he'll speak for himself. I won't even introduce him. He's very free. He walks in without any trouble. And Trilochan is still itching to introduce him too. So we'll take upon ourselves. So Trilochan Singh will come and introduce. And then Mr. Pandit will speak to you as he chooses to speak to you.
Unluckily, in this gathering, we are few neutral men. So who are on receiving end on behalf of the men community? Mr. R.V. Pandit is from among us in that category. He is from India, Bombay, if you have heard, a coastal city.
They have been there.
He is also a leading journalist who has many now magazines, including women magazines, fashion magazines, industrial magazines. Earlier, he has one of the most important fortnightly imprint magazine. In addition to this, he is one of the 3 persons in India who are making all the cassettes, all these tapes, producing everything which Sony does in India, in America, he is doing on behalf of Sony in India. He is also a leading most economist of the country. He has been friend of the former finance minister of India, who along with our previous Prime Minister Narasimha Rao brought India on the new stage of liberation, economic liberation. So Mr. Pandit has earlier visited LA, and there he met Vinny and Satpal Yogi's daughter and son-in-law. He was much impressed, so he has been urging and planning to come here to see Yogiji. Today it has been his first meeting. And like Kalyani Shankar, he is also impressed, and we are honored by his visit. And he is here for a day. So now Mr. R.V.
That
Pandit.
was not the agreement.
He's writing it quit.
You are making him quit even without consulting him. Mr. Pandit.
Mr. Pandit, please.
Good evening, all of you. This is an unusual occasion because, like my friend Kalyani there, I also am not a public speaker. We sometimes write but do not speak. But it has been an experience. And while I was listening to what Yogiji was saying this evening, some of the things that I had read about Sikhism being a very modern religion, it's only 500 years old. But I was struck by the fact that Yogiji is interpreting it today for even the modern nation like America and for modern women. And what he said, I am a father of 2 daughters, and of course a husband. And some of these simple truths we ignore. Yogiji has the unusual ability of stating very simple facts in terms of reality and relevance. And I think that that is what has made this movement of his so unusually popular in the most unexpected quarters. I too, if I had not visited this place, would not have believed that so many of you so diligently and passionately believe in this aspect of religion through Sikhism. Many people have written on Sikhism. In fact, a good friend of Tarlochan Singh and mine, Kushwant Singh, has in fact written about 15 years ago a history of Sikhism, which was published by the Harvard University, the Princeton University, in 2 volumes. And in reviewing that book, I recall the New York Times had said that Sikhism is not only a modern religion, but perhaps represent the synthesis or the best that Hinduism had to offer and Islam. And listening to Yogiji during the course of the day and while he was talking on this very interesting subject of women, I felt that here we have not only an interpreter of Sikhism, but Sikhism as relevant to today's world, as relevant to women. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to have come here and seen for myself whatever you all are doing. Thank you.
Now we conclude. The subject for tomorrow I've already explained. Subject of yesterday, which you listened. And subject of today, must you understand. Without reality, there's no royalty. Without royalty, there is no grace. Without grace, there is no impact. Without impact, there is no effect. Without effect, there is no woman. Then let us sing and praise to the noble woman, and we all will sing. And then we'll conclude. And meanwhile, he's going to put his atta on the tabla, and he's going to give us a cross rhythm. He's a very intelligent man, but I don't know why he starts so slow. He should get into us like fast. Everybody.
Noble to everyone, whatever they may
This is something you don't understand.
After all this.
This is, with all this you don't understand. The human mind, especially you are a woman, therefore you should understand it. If you don't, it's your problem and you suffer. When the head and heart doesn't have the same balance in the rhythm, and the biorhythm does not cross to the frequency, and the macro and macro consciousness is not combined together, you cannot be in tomorrow. And tomorrow has to become today to face you. The fear of tomorrow is unnecessary. Yesterday is already gone. But this fear brings you to a very low caliber. Fear of tomorrow has acted to take away sometime up to 70% human energy. But here, what you are looking at this time, a physical body was playing head and heart in absolute rhythm. So what it assures us is possible. And you see how this thing was jumping up out of this? Did you see? And sometimes you jump out of your skin too. But still, in spite of all that jump, there was a rhythm, basic rhythm. It's called sound current. It's called anad-nad. When the infinite and finite rhythm becomes the one, the unison of God virtually works for that man or woman, as the case may be. You even forgot to write it. You can get on the tape. May the blessed is the soul, blessed is the virtue, blessed is the power of this birth, and the most virtuous is the breath of life. May we all understand in our most inner being the bounty, the beauty and the bliss and the power of the breath which give us the sensory system. May all our senses be alert and pay homage to the very self of God within us. May in our depth we may understand it is the goodness, is the compassion, is the kindness, is the care which is now for our upliftment. Let us all ask in gratitude that tomorrow may be ours as today was. Satnam.